So anyone know who this man is? Warren Buffett. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Let's kind of explore why. I'm going to talk a little bit about the power of indexing, reducing risk in retirement. So this is the basis of indexing. In this example, the S&P 500 since 1999 has been up as much as 29% and down as much as 38.49, right? People forget about that, but it's been down quite a bit. In this example, the goal is to eliminate the losses and participate in the portion of the gains, right? So an example of indexing would be to eliminate the losses with a 0% floor and capping the maximum annual gains at 50% of the S&P 500. So let's take a look at what happened here, right? So in this case, the green shows the years it went up, the red, the years it went down. So if you started with $1 million, at the end of the time, with all the ups and downs, you would have had $2,198,000. Well, let's take a look at the same example. And in this case, in the years it went down, you got nothing. But the years it went up, you only got 50% of the S&P 500. What do you think you'd have? Would you have more or less? Well, the answer is more, quite a substantial amount more. Why is that? Because losses are very hard to recover from. When the market comes down, if you lose 50%, you have to have 100% to get it back, right? It's just basic math. And portfolios cannot take that type of issue or that kind of strain. So when we look at this, we also have to look at inflation in the market. When you've got an inflationary period, what we're in right now, it makes things more expensive, which means if you have fixed income, and that income isn't going up as much as you'd like, it means you've decreased purchasing power, right? Well, additionally, you also have higher living costs. And those higher living costs are buying food, going out to restaurant, your housing may be going up, your rent may go up, right? Your gardener, your housekeeper, and also healthcare tends to rise with inflation more than anything else outside of education, right? So you need more money to actually maintain the same standard of living. This is a very real experience now because people are experiencing inflationary times right now. A lot of times when people go out to dinner, they can't believe that 2 people's $100, but now it's pretty typical if that's the case. So to keep pace with inflation, retirees have to look at investments that provide returns that exceed what the inflation rate currently is, right? Well, some of the investments or some of the income that people have don't adjust as well as they should. A lot of pensions and annuities currently, they do not have inflation adjustments or cost of living adjustments or COLAs as they're called. So if you're getting $2,000 a month now, you will be getting $2,000 a month in 20 years. I have a client of mine who retired from LA County 25 years ago. She got $1,000 a month from LA County. She did an early retirement. She was still working, but she took an early retirement at the age of 55. She received $1,000 a month. At that point, her early retirement to the LA County paid for half of her mortgage payment, and she was great. Well, she told me this year, it paid for pretty much her January and February heating bill. So that's what inflation does over time, and that's why it's so important that these things do actually index. You also have to look at long-term planning, right? It makes it really challenging to predict the amount of savings that you need and making sure you have enough funds, because if you don't, you end up running out of money. The amount of people who hit 100 years old has increased substantially. So it was 101,000 people hit 100. Now, the majority of these were women, and the minority of them were men, right? Statistically, women outlive men by 5 to 10 years. So that's something that really needs to go within planning, just to make sure that people recognize that if you're a woman, you may outlive your husband if you're married by 5 to 10 years. If you're a man, you may die sooner than you think. So you need to put this in planning, and you also have to look at the healthcare issues that may come up as people age up, right? So this is me. My name is Aly McFarland. I am a managing partner at Wealthfolio Advisors, and we've got offices in San Francisco, Sonoma, and a couple offices in Long Beach. Thank you for joining me today. You can reach out to me by phone on the number on your screen, or you can email me if you'd like to see me to ask any more questions or to set up a time to discuss this more.